We sometimes get so wrapped up in the moment that we spend a lot more.
You don't make the best decisions when you're drinking.
What is the biggest misconception that people have about emergency funds?
That emergency funds are mean for urgency. They're not for urgency, they're for emergencies. Let's say you want to go out Saturday night, Sunday night, or whatever. You might say, man, I have this emergency fund. I have $1,000 in my emergency fund. I could spend 200 of that in the club or whatever. That's not what that was for. That was for if you have a medical emergency and you got to pay, even if you have insurance, you might have to pay a little balance or whatever. You know, something goes wrong with your car. You need a new starter or anything like that. The alternator goes bad. You have to buy tires. That's what that's for. But a lot of people, they tend to use it for inconveniences. Even though I did say insurance emergencies and the inconveniences, an inconvenience is kind of like, I want to eat at this high scale restaurant instead of eating at this lower scale restaurant. That's not an inconvenience. I want to buy this bottle of alcohol. Like, that's not an emergency. But I think that's where a lot of people might actually get it misconstrued.
So another element that we need to have, just even have an emergency fund, is discipline. Because, I mean, I might want to go to the club and I might have paid a bill. I might have had a little bit to drink, but the bill might have become more than I expected.
Yeah.
You know,
That happens all the time.
that's the thing. So I think for a lot of people as well, there's an element of discipline because we sometimes get so wrapped up in the moment that we spend a lot more. So like, how do you combat that urge? You know, like I'm going out with my friends and what's not, and then the peer pressure comes in. You know,
Yeah.
hey, you should probably get this meal or this drink or what's not.
And you got to think about it. If you go to, let's say, like an example you're using, like the club. If you go to a club or a bar, you're drunk. Like, you're not drunk, but you're drinking. You don't make the best decisions when you're drinking. You know, almost every decision someone comes to you when you're drunk, in some way, if you're interested in it or if that's something you find interesting, you could find a way to rationalize that, right? Then you wake up the next morning and you have the regret. But that's when like real discipline has to come in. And that's why, like, sometimes some people go and be like, all right, I'm having 2 drinks tonight. And that's it. That's my cutoff point. If I drink any more than that, that means someone would have bought me a drink or whatever. But that's when, like, that real discipline comes in. And mind you, there's nothing wrong with enjoying life. You know, life is meant to be enjoyed. But sometimes, so like, for example, if you do get your target emergency fund goal, you probably should go out. But I tell you to spend the whole whatever. Like, if you save $500, I'm not telling you to go out and spend $200-300. No, but you should have something, you know, to celebrate. Then when you get that next goal, have something else to celebrate, because milestones should be celebrated, in my opinion.